This multimedia presentation is copyrighted to all those who find poverty as an unacceptable form of human existence. The Luminous Link. It is a small world. Here life moves on without much change for most of the time. There is one woman who lives in this village who did not wait for the world to change. Instead, she decided to change her world. Let us meet her. This is Mangala. Let us listen to her, telling us how the change came in her life.
93 साली आमची खूप बिकट परिस्थिती होती तेव्हा दोन मुलं होती मला.
My husband's income was just sufficient to prevent my children from dying of hunger. At that time, my mother-in-law fell sick. I badly needed 300 rupees. I had no idea how to get the money. I did not want to fall prey to the moneylender. I was told by my friend that the bank gives loans. So I went to the nearby bank. They were all very busy in the bank. The madam was nice to me, but she had a problem in giving me such a small loan. She told me that it was too difficult for her to give very small loans to large number of people like me. Instead, she told me to meet Lakshmi Madam of Gram Vikas, who would help me to join self-help group.
This advice of the bank official introduced Mangala to the world of self-help groups. Mangala is a changed person now. She took a 500 rupee loan from the SHG 6 years ago. By now, she has already borrowed 7 times from the SHG with a total of more than 1 lakh of rupees and runs her own small business unit at home. She has repaid all her loans. Her children go to school now. This is Lakshmi, who helped Mangala to join an SHG. She has been helping many poor women in the villages to form SHGs in their localities. She works for an NGO. We know that self-help is the best help. We also know that unity is strength.
In the same way, I felt I could encourage and help the poor people to become strong by coming together. I realized that self-help group was the best way for the poor to gain strength by being together and by helping each other. My NGO supported me fully in my efforts. I also found it very useful to seek the support of the state government when village level workers and Gram Sevaks interact together to call Gram Sabhas and so form self-help groups. The first thing I told the village elders all about myself, I wanted them on my side. I told them what an SHG was, what my NGO did for the empowerment of women, and I was happy to get their support. I clearly told everybody that I was not distributing any subsidy under any government program. Whenever I visited a family, I kept a small notebook with me. I jotted down all information regarding the family. And these were the questions I asked each family I visited.
Is there only one earning member in the family? Does the family bring drinking water from faraway place? Are the women forced to go far in the open fields early in the mornings because they don't have latrines? Are there old illiterate members in the family? Are there permanently ill members in the family? Are there children in the family who did not go to school? Is there a drug addict or a drunkard in the family? Are their houses made of kacha material? Do they regularly borrow from the money lender? Do they eat less than 2 meals a day? Do they belong to scheduled castes or scheduled tribes?
If the families answered yes to 4 or 5 of these questions, I considered them as poor.
Some of the similarities noticed by Lakshmi were similar living conditions, similar types of poverty, similar livelihood, same community or place of origin, etc. It was much easier now for Lakshmi to make out which families were likely to get along better with each other.
After visiting the family for the second time, I called one member from each family to attend the meeting, and this is our first meeting of the SHG.
How long does it take for forming the group? How long does it take to settle to a stable pattern?
I took about 5 to 6 months initially in the formation of a new group, but there have been instances when a good group is formed even after 2 months. After formation, it takes about 6 to 8 months for the group to get the first bank loan from the bank. During formation, in the formative stages, we were helped greatly by the village level workers of DRDA and the Panchayat Samitis, known as the Gram Sevaks, who worked with our block coordinators in the formation of groups. During the initial months, I noticed that some members left, whereas new members joined in, and others were quite regular. It is normal for some people to leave in the beginning when the group is formed, and others can join in. It is only after that they start saving regularly, they have the meetings regularly, they write their minutes, and they realize the importance of being together. At this stage, I realized that I was moving in the right direction.
"10 to 20 members are ideal, because in a larger group than that, everybody will not be able to interact. By taking one member from one family, we can make more families participate. Members from the same social and economic background interact more freely with each other. The group should meet and save regularly so that everyone gets the savings habit. The group should lend among the members from the savings and maintain simple books of accounts. The SHG should also discuss the problems of its members."
Now the time has come for the group to find itself a leader. I found that the best way of doing so was to ask the group present here the following questions so that they could answer and choose their leader.
Who should take the decisions in the SHG?
All members should decide together.
Who benefits from the SHG?
All members benefit.
Who should do the work?
All should share the work.
How can the work be shared?
Agree on one person to take up the work by rotation.
What about rules? Does an SHG need rules?
It is important for every SHG to form its own simple but clear set of rules. For example, the SHG should have an agreement on when to meet, an agreement on time and place of meeting, penalties are agreed upon for non-attendance, late attendance, etc. This will give them an idea on time management and discipline, an agreement on amount of saving, an agreed system of giving small loans to each other, an agreed system of maintaining records. Again, this will give transparency to the operations of the SHG.
Did you notice? All these rules are agreed upon by the members and not thrust upon the SHG. What are the training needs of the SHGs?
Some members of the SHG wanted to know how to keep accounts. I taught them how to write simple books of account. It is easy to show to the SHG members how to calculate interest in a simplified way. If a loan of Rs 850 is taken, 8 rupees will be the interest per month if the interest is 1 rupee per 100 rupees. If the interest is 2 rupees per 100 rupees of loan, the interest amount will be 8 plus 8 equal to 16. They also wanted to know how to schedule meetings, how lending is done, and how repayments are done. For this, I really didn't have to hold any class. All I did was to take them to the nearby village where they already had a good SHG. The members interacted freely with each other, and this made my task much easier. Soon after the new SHG meets once or twice and some savings are collected, we should try to link the SHG to the nearby branch of a bank.
Why should this be done?
In my experience, it is very important for the SHG to have a relationship with the bank. This happens in two ways. One is the savings linkage, when the group opens a savings bank account with the bank. The second is the credit linkage, when the group takes bank loan for the first time. All poor people have tiny surpluses of their money. All they need is a safe place to keep this money. SHG is the safest place for these poor people to store their money. Otherwise, these surpluses would get spent. Actually, savings and credit are the same. In savings, you get a large amount of money at the end of some period, whereas in credit, you get the large amount of money in the beginning and then you continue to save to repay that loan. Every banker knows that only a person who can save can repay the loan.
There are 4 simple steps to link the SHG to a bank. Let us have a look at them. Step 1. Opening of savings bank account. In whose name is the account to be opened?
The account should be opened in the name of the SHG and not in the name of any individual member of the SHG.
Has RBI permitted this?
Yes, commercial banks and RRBs have RBI permission to open SB accounts in the name of the SHGs.
What are the documents to be taken from the SHG?
The documents taken are the resolution from SHG for opening account, authorization to 2 or 3 members to operate the account, copy of rules and regulations of the SHG.
Step 2. Internal lending by SHG from the Common Fund. When should internal lending start?
Within 2 to 3 months of forming the SHG, the internal lending can start.
Who decides the terms, purpose, interest rate, etc. of loans from SHGs to its members?
The SHG members themselves decide on these aspects. The purposes could be anything agreed by all the members of the group, such as repairs to the house, health and education, investment in milch animal, etc.
Who should do the record keeping?
SHG should maintain clear and simple books of accounts. The common savings of the SHG should be used by the SHG for lending to members within 2 to 3 months of forming the group.
Step 3. Credit rating of SHGs. There are some rating norms developed by NGOs and banks to assess the quality of SHGs. This game will give you an idea about these norms. Step 4. Loan sanctioned by bank and repayment by SHG.
In whose name is the loan to be sanctioned to the SHG?
In the name of SHG and not in the name of any member.
And what would be the quantum of the loan given?
1 to 4 times or more.
What constitutes the savings of the group?
Balance in the SB account, net cash bank, amount lent within the SHG, amount of interest earned and any other receipt.
What are the purposes for which the loan can be taken?
Let the SHG decide. That is for emergency purpose, that is the marriage and then purchase of any assets, etc.
Then who will be responsible for repaying this loan?
The SHG is responsible for repaying the loan.
Is any collateral security taken for this loan?
No, our bank is not taken any collateral security. As per the RBI and the NABARD guidelines, we won't allow any collateral security.
Can the balance in the SB account be held by the bank as collateral?
No, this will prevent the internal lending of the SHG.
Is collateral security required at all
No.
for the SHG loan?
No, the collateral, the collective responsibility ensures its repayment.
What is the rate of recovery of this SHG loan?
It's above 95%.
What is the rate of interest from the bank to the SHG members?
Each bank fixes its own rate of interest, it depending upon its PLR rate.
Then what would be the rate of interest which the SHG would charge to its members?
It is generally decided by the SHG itself. It is a 2 to 3 rupees per 100 of loan.
There are more than 7 lakh SHGs benefiting from SHG bank linkage. Over 1 crore families have now become partners to progress in the rural areas of India. The rural women of India now run the most cost-effective and the fastest growing microfinance program in the world. Let us all take part in this great movement by helping the poor women in our neighborhoods to join together in self-help groups.